Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Austin here with StarCraft 2 commentary number 4. Today I will be bringing you a Friends replay, and actually today's was sent in by one of the players participating in this game, so it is technically a Friends replay, though he did send it to the recommended email, aust77sc@gmail.com. Please do send any replays you have to that aforementioned address. It will be in the description. And so let me get to the introduction right away. We have Magma Core once more for a 2v2 matchup, and this is going to be a TTvTT, so pretty interesting game. Promises to be exciting. Zapper told me it was a very interesting game that had very few dull moments, so I hope it lives up to its name, and let us see how it turns out. So we have Papercut here as the red Terran. He's spawning alongside Koa, and this is the blue. He is of course the blue Terran, and then across from them on Magma Core we have Zapper, who is the teal Terran, and the purple Terran, Zion. So my mouth is hurting from saying Terran that many times. I am excited to see this matchup. You know, TVT always is interesting, but imagine TTvTT. This promises to be a great matchup. I can't wait to see how it goes. Surely it will almost seem akin to middle-age battles where trebuchets, in this case siege tanks, fire at enemies' walls and fortresses have to be maintained. I'm salivating at the very thought. And so Koa and Papercut getting to work together here on their wall, so barracks for each and a supply depot for each. And Zion, however, left alone to build his own. He has a barracks in production and an engineering bay, and we'll finish this off with a supply depot. It seems quite sturdy. This little space along here could perhaps have enough room for a leak. I highly doubt it, though. Yeah, it seems as though it is a secure wall. And so as we can see the talk here, Zion and Zapper are both friends of mine. Zapper did send this in, and they're friends with each other, of course, so explaining why they are conversing so much here on the ally chat. And so quite simply, Scout Marine and Zapper seemingly getting to work with just double supply depot near his base, and a barrack seems quite out there, as you would say, but nonetheless I respect the diversity, and an orbital for both Koa, sorry, not Zoa, and Zion and Koa, not to mix them up. And so here is this beautiful wall completed now by the red and blue team, and Zapper's scout getting hit quite effectively by Koa's first marine. And so we have this one barracks lifting off. Not sure where this is gonna go, but promises to be interesting as Zapper's scout does return. And tech-wise, of course, just very standard play. We have a first upgrade here for Papercut at his engineering base, so Papercut and Zion both boasting engineering bays, while their partners do not, so it seems quite similar strategies. And look at this excess of idle workers here for Zapper. Not the greatest idea. You always want every worker to be moving. As a Protoss player, I find it easy, as all I have to press when I'm building multiple buildings is shift, and then right-click my mineral lines, so that when they finish the building, when they finish warping in the building, they can move back to minerals. So I find shift queuing your workers around their multitude of tasks is quite effective. You know, if you need to assign them to multiple buildings or scouting and then returning straight to minerals. And so factories in production for 3 out of our 4 players. Zion, the only exception. He's going for a 3rd racks here. No extension on the 2nd. He's just got a simple M&M, like, minuscule ball. I won't even call that a ball. I'll call it an obtuse angled line. Or is that obtuse? Is that acute? I'm not sure. I always did struggle in that portion of math, and so here we have a starport now for Koa. So he's going the 1-1-1 opener, clearly, and actually a 2-1-1 nonetheless. I'm sure it could be an M&M and then 1-1, you know, type of build. And we have over here no starport in production for Papercut, an expansion. So he has an early expand all the way over here at the gold. So an early gold expand for Papercut. And of course, Zapper already has this proxy barracks. So wow, this game is already interesting, and we are 6 minutes in. I cannot wait to see how the rest of it goes. Koa's Scout Marine here on the Xel'Naga, and we have some Terran infantry armor level 1 in production for Papercut. So he's moving quite well with his technology. I'm not sure if Zion only getting to work on weapons level 1, and he had this engineering bay first, I do believe. And siege tech in production for Zapper. He has a line of buildings. He has 3 factories, so either heavy siege tanks or a splits between reactor Hellions. No, I highly doubt that, seeing this second tech lab. So most likely just heavy siege tank play, and he's finally getting his orbital. So just basic timings for Zapper are seeming to be off, and I'm not sure why he has this proxy racks. It is not a coordinated effort between him and Zion, so perhaps he will try to. I do not actually understand why he went for this proxy racks. If you were to build Reapers, it would be a little more justified. And I do highly appreciate Papercut's building a gold expand, though he has nobody working yet. Only this one SCV finally getting to work with his command center, and he has shift 1 his command centers. I'm not sure why he hasn't assigned the rally point to this gold, but I guess it is quite a far commute. And so here's a scan. I'm not sure who from, but I believe Zion, as he is quickly pinging. And now we have the expand from Zapper with that orbital, and Nikola. Oh, sorry, not Nikola. Zion. Nikola is his real name. A little bit of a blunder there, but yeah, Nikola is Zion's true identity. I did mix up briefly the two, and so here is Zion's natural expand lifted off and landed, and Koa controlling all 3 Xel'Naga towers. And so that initially, when I started to play StarCraft, I thought it was an insignificant matter, but I will cut back to that in a minute. Koa immediately getting to a harass, and Zapper, of course, killed him. These 2 reactor. Are they reactor Hellions? I would believe so. No, just simple 2 Hellions. So this base is immediately lifted off, and the 2 Hellions scanned now as they move around the map and are immediately pinned down by Zion's forces, and both taken out, paying for their crimes. And so anyway, as I said before, I do actually forget what I had said before. Oh yes, I had believed initially when I started to play StarCraft that Xel'Naga towers were insignificant, but controlling them, essentially if you're a Terran, gives you almost observer vision on opposing pushes. There are only small little pathways here, minuscule pathways, that your opponents can push through without you knowing it. And so combined with orbitals, that is a powerful tool. And so we have a planetary fortress in production here on this gold natural. Very smart idea for Papercut, as he will be able to hold it down with quite reasonable efficiency. And he just has this division of Marines guarding that planetary fortress, or is the planetary fortress guarding them? And so we have Zion with his natural moved over. I'm not sure why he would do that. I believe, yes, this natural can be seen by Koa. So let us see quickly if he can see it. Yes, full sight of the natural. So again, that's where that Xel'Naga vision comes into play. Though it may give off the illusion that he has a second natural, as it would be more logical for him to put it there. Anyway, let's look at our tech tab, which I've not been keeping up with at all. We have a multitude of Banshees for Koa streaming out of his tech lab starport, and a Thor. So very smart tech play here for Koa. This is admirable. I'm not sure how Zapper and Zion are going to be able to hold with this basic M&M. You know, the Marauders will fall quite quickly to the air, and these. Oh, we have a reactor. So I was wrong before. He did not go for 3 tech labs. He went for 2 tech labs, 1 reactor. So just this couple Hellions and siege tank. I'm not sure they'll be able to do too much. And so here's this destructible rocks coming under siege by that Marine task force, as Zion begins to get to work on his natural. I'm not sure why Koa has not put any pressure on it. There are no defenses, and high-sec auto tracking finishing now for Zion, as we have just several armories that had gone down, as I boasted on personal beliefs before. So we have an armory for, I believe, almost every player. 2 engineering bays for Zapper, though that is not logical. He does have an armory, by the way. That is not logical, as he does not have too many troops, just this small force. He has Thors of his own, so I do apologize for not spotting that. But now we will have a little bit of an attack from Khoa and Zapper, but just several Banshees taking about half health damage from these powerful javelin missile launchers of the Thors. And so neither player on the other colored team, the secondary colored team, has actually put too many workers on their natural, and that cannot bode well for them. You know, it's just minutes time. As look at Zion's archaic mineral line, he needs to move something. This seems like Times Square at New Year's Eve. Just so much of a bustle, and he's quickly building 6, 7, 8 supply depots. As this is already proving to be a crazy game, and we're 15 minutes in. So let us hope for more exciting action. We have Papercut with, just look at this economy. He's got 4, 5, 6 more Stargates in production. He's got 6 to begin with. I apologize. He did not have any to start with. This is his first 5 and 6 Stargates in production. All have tech labs. Well, 3 of 4 built have tech labs. And here's this proxy racks now for Zapper lifting off. Not sure if Khoa is seeing this, but this proxy barracks may land in here, produce some troops. Not sure why Zapper would try to do that, though. It is not the smartest decision. And here's Cloaking Field in production now for Khoa, so he is going to get cloaked Banshees. Watch out, Zapper and Zion. So here goes that tech lab finishing now, and an attempted harass by Zapper will only take the lives of 2 workers, and his troops now pinned down face their imminent fate at the hands of Papercut and Khoa. Rest in peace. So we'll call that Task Force 2, and we will call Papercut's Marine Ball Task Force 1. So Task Force 2 out of the picture, and Task Force 1 on the move. And we will call this Air Task Force 1. I'm not sure I'll actually follow through with this. It's just a little bit of a joke, but it does seem pretty neat to have just this Banshee fleet, this Marine squad, you know, just make it feel a little more personal if you give them each names. And we have 4 out of 6. Well, we have 4 out of 6 starports boasting tech labs, with one of them producing a medevac and the other with nothing. And this massive M&M ball for Zion receiving the support of 4 medevacs, as his natural now finally moves. His natural finally gain some workers, though it will soon lose them, as this missile turret targeting effectively Khoa's Banshees. Wow, 5 missile turrets. So smart of Zion to build 5 missile turrets that just quickly eradicated Khoa's Banshee force. They're not necessarily eradicate them, but definitely scared them off. He will lose one here. Not sure why he sent it in. That's just a sacrifice. And so Zion will lose that orbital nonetheless. The placement of the missile turrets could have been better, but wow, let us just look at Khoa's kills. 6, 2, 3, and 4. So just a number of kills from these Banshees. Not much in production. It's more so harassment. An excellent and efficient harass here from Khoa, just working perfectly, as he will fly by here, and he's gonna lose all of these Banshees. 2 of them with 14 and 20 health, so this Thor is gonna go down. No scans in time, so quickly the Thor manages to survive. Not sure if Zapper's gonna be able to get any repairs on it, but wow, that was such an economical harass for Khoa. You would not believe he eliminated he eliminated Zion's natural, which should have been placed here in the first place. He just threw this teal and purple team on its back foot, forcing Zion to have a standstill economy, as he just has very little minerals draining in, and he will now build the actual an even better placed natural, but still a surgical strike from the back of the mineral line could produce some deadly results for the SCV mineral line, as these Banshees could strike from behind and face no missile turrets. And so in production we just have a multitude of upgrades and Cloaking Field now in production for Papercut, and just a missile turret for Zapper to handle some Banshee pressure, and everything of the sort, and so nothing too special. Of course, we just have the strategy-wise, Koa and Zapper both have Thors of their own. Zapper has been quite immobile with 2 mules randomly dying in the middle here. He has been quite immobile in the middle of the map as Zion's fleet, we will call this Task Force Ultimate, as good lord, this is an intimidating fleet of medevacs. You can throw your task forces of banshees, you can throw your task forces of marines away. This is the ultimate task force when you've got banshees medevacs everywhere, but they will soon fall. And good god, the intimidating task force losing some of their fleet would have made for a nice cutscene, just watching banshees full of why am I saying banshees? Medevacs full of troops tumbling out of the skies. That was actually a quite neat engagement, and so all the troops will soon fall out of their respective medevacs, or are dropped out of their respective medevacs. And while that was a failed drop for Zion, that could have proved so efficient had he been able to land it all the way here and just eliminated all of these supply depots. It would have been a game changer. And so, wow, we have Infernal Pre-Igniter, which is Blue Flame. We have for Koa, so I'm not sure why he would get Blue Flame this late in the game. I do not see any prominent Hellions anywhere, but this Scout Marine sitting on the Zelnaga has just sat there for the majority of the game. Both those Scout Marines just waiting there for the longest time, and that has given the red and blue team of Koa and Papercut just this key vision. And now let us look at the production tab. Nothing in production for Zapper, and yet for Koa and Papercut we have so much. We have just a Thor, 2 Banshees, Siege Tech, Terran Infantry level 1 Terran Weapons level 1, ship plating level, or vehicle plating level 1, and we just have so much in production. 6 Banshees out of these 6 Stargates. What am I saying? My vocabulary is so thrown off today. I apologize. It is the beginning of the Christmas break from school, and I'm just at a loss for words, I guess, just because of how impressed I am as a result of these 6 star ports, not Stargates. I am a Protoss player, so do forgive me for that. These 6 star ports just producing a flood of Banshees, so it is almost mass Banshees at this point for Papercut, but these mass Banshees will quickly lose their power as just several of them unnecessarily picked off by Zapper's base defenses. And here's another one picking some of them off as we have the XD smiley dropped here from Zapper. And so Papercut now losing a ton of his fleet. Actually, not a ton. I thought these were Marines, but no, Marauders cannot hit air, so not the smartest movement from Zion, as we have this random ground force from Papercut attacking. All of these Marines will soon fall as cannon fodder. One of them surviving now. He quickly falls into multiple pieces. Apologies for that little burp. Not sure if you heard that. And Papercut here. Of course, Zion demanding some help, and wow, these Banshees have made all the difference. Cloaked, picking off just endless amounts of ground forces. I'm not sure how Zion and Zapper are going to be able to recover from this. Papercut's fleet, although it did get cut in half as a result of missile turrets, wow. I'm not sure how the Zion Zapper team is going to be able to recover from this. And a Ghost in production now from Koa, so just the sheer tech of the red and blue team proving so intimidating no matter what kind of opposition they are facing. Just, I am in awe of this game. It is so diverse. I am getting goosebumps casting this, as it is so, nothing has been blunt, nothing has been boring and bland and repeated. I've never seen a game like this, and truly this is something akin to what World War III will look like from humanity's perspective. World War III will prove to be a TT vs TT, as truly the combined these four Terran factions facing off in epic fashion. And now finally Zapper getting back on his economical feet with Zion producing 4 Vikings. So again, this is just how interesting the game has gotten. With just 4 Vikings now, they will probably target these Banshees as soon as possible if they can be located by Zion and Zapper. 5 more Banshees in production from Papercut, but he has devoted all of his tech to Banshees. So I think Vikings are the best possible answer at this point, as I'm not sure why Papercut is targeting his own workers, probably to cut some supply free. Yes, that is what it. That is the issue. And so look at this massive Banshees, though Zion's counter may take them out. Here they are retreating, and Zion just narrowly missing them, so he could have picked them all off, as Vikings are known for. And so I immediately, upon seeing those Vikings, I'm beginning to doubt the efficiency of Papercut's strategy now, as Zion will be able to just eliminate so many of them. And so this engage is imminent, like computer, a Core i7 lagging as a result of just the sheer epicness brought upon its GPU. And we can simply cloak, of course, in effect from Papercut, and Zion will fly around his opponent's tech, immediately realizing he has 6 starports. And so here are Koa's Banshees now, and it seems as though there will be a somewhat coordinated push in effect. And Zion right now says we lose, so will they lose? Let us see. Even Zapper agreeing, so they have counted themselves out already, but I'm sure they fail to understand the degree to which they, oh my god, they want a GG. And they are in very good standing to win this. And Zapper, of course, being our saving grace. And here's a nuke about to land on Zapper's mass of units, and it is killed. The ghost killed. So Zapper, crisis management skills on an incredible level. He's able to pick off the ghost, and my words can hardly bear just the level of insanity I have seen. This has been such a crazy game. Please watch as we have SCVs pushing for Zion. My god, SCVs pushing. Zion is throwing everything out there. His Viking fleet now patrolling the skies, or perusing the skies, as I did want to say. And now let us observe how this goes down. We quickly have Koa lifting off his natural, but Vikings getting to work on it. He's going to lose that natural imminently. And now here are cloaked Banshees, just 200 populations worth, bringing siege to the ground forces of Zapper and Zion. Mostly Zion, actually, yes. And so, wow, this is just incredible. SCVs surrounding a Marauder, as no missile turrets anywhere for Koa and Papercut. No ground forces that can even hit air. And so these Vikings landing as Zapper bringing his Thors in with his siege tanks, but these Banshees, will quickly bring them all down. And here's the scan, and oh my god, that was insanity. I actually feel compelled to, I will replay that after this game. That was insane. That fleet of Banshees just fell to the guns of Zapper's Thors, and suddenly this game is winnable for Zion and Zapper, for anybody. It is anybody's game. 82 population for Papercut. Moments ago he had 242 population for Koa, and so these medevacs, not sure why they were flying in there. They were somewhat sacrificed. And now 2 Thors for Zapper, 2 Thors in production for Koa, and 2 Marines in production for Papercut. So these 6 starports, or 3 starports at a standby, and Zion says, well, GG, and he leaves the game. I am in shock. Why would Zion leave? This is devastating. I suppose he just had no chance with the economy he had, but still, to GG and leave the game and leave your partner like that, I am not sure how Zapper is gonna be able to win this. Oh god, that is crushing. He is pushing out now with Thors, but it's almost heartbreaking to see Zion leave the game as he has. It's just devastating since it was a winnable game. Absolutely. I guess Zion did not understand the degree to which he could have won. So Zapper, of course, receiving a massive economical boost, but he is pushing now. It's going to be a Thor v Thor battle. More Thors for Zapper. He is attacking Khoa's Thors, putting them on the retreat, and he will now pull back himself, but wow, I'm surprised, as this is absolutely winnable for Zapper, but can he pull off a miracle? And I will personally scold Zion for this, as I do attend the same school as him. I will personally tell him, you should not have left that game. It was absolutely winnable, as he has deserted Zapper here. And Zapper now getting the economical boost from Zion's leaving, though Zion does not have any minerals of his own. 0-0, and as you can see, just at this point just taking up space, and so just so many Thors for Zapper, and I just don't think that Papercut has anything to offer to his partner. So it is essentially a 1v1 between Khoa and Zapper. So he will bring siege now to Papercut's expansion here, so that will cut off any economical threats that Papercut could have posed, as he will immediately cut this orbital command down and just advance, picking off a multitude of SCVs. And here's the push from Khoa, though he is outnumbered, and we have just a Banshee moving in here, quickly firing on Zapper's forces, and he's pulling back with just these. So will he be able to scan? He's pulling back with his forces. He picks off the lone Banshee, but now it's going to be a Thor v Thor. One side is 1-1-1, one side is 3-3 and 0, but they're just outnumbered, and so oof, this is going to be close. And a sudden reinforcement of Thors. I did not see these, and so it's still going to be a Thor v Thor matchup, and I am in absolute shock at how Zapper has stayed in this game. And here's Papercut supporting now with some siege tanks. He is pulling them back, but will he be able to siege them up in time? He's sieging them now, but if they can land some key hits, they will bring absolute siege to Zapper's forces. But Zapper quickly getting to work, and he may even win this. Zapper taking down Khoa's Thors with devastation, and as well as Papercut's, and he suddenly is in great standing. He has 2 more Thors. He has 2 Thors in production, and he is suddenly looking great to have a shot at this. And that is stunning to say, as he is alone in this game. Zion left now some 5 minutes ago, and this is absolutely jaw-dropping. Probably one of the best games that are non-professional that I have had the honor to cast. This has been an incredible game, and I still have no idea who's going to take it. And so it is Christmas Eve as I cast this. Merry Christmas to anybody who is watching this that celebrates. Please do enjoy yourself and the company of your family, but this has been the ultimate Christmas Eve present, as Zapper, oh, this has just been an insane game. Even from before Zion left, it was back and forth, SCVs pushing, no holds barred, truly. There is not one thing that I saw that I haven't seen in this game. Apologies, there's not one thing that I have not seen in this game. Have I seen Thor v Thor? Yes. Have I seen TTvTT in this game? Yes. Have I seen a player leave and his partner forced to fend for himself and he's still able to last 6 minutes afterwards? Yes. I am out of breath as I proclaim this, and so here is just siege tanks eliminating this next force of Thors, and that the high ground for Khoa and Papercut, providing them with a key advantage, and so bad place to push from for Zapper, and he will now push yet again with this Hellion Thor combination. His economy starting to falter now, so Khoa does not have that problem, but Zapper's still able to produce 2 more Thors, and these 2 are going to walk out now, and he will have one last shot to push everything or nothing now for Zapper. He is either going to win this or he is going to lose this. It all comes down to this push, and he should be pushing out with his full force, but he is not, and so these Hellions torn apart quickly by the opposing Thors, but now they will absorb all of Khoa's fire. And that is so important. The Ghost falling, so the attempted nuke failing as the Ghost is unable to cloak. And now Zapper just bringing devastation to the front lines. Why would Khoa lift off that natural? It is going to die if just a few more hits are able to land. These Thors 3-3, so ultimately the late tech truly saving Zapper's skin. It has been 41 minutes since I have started casting this game, and it has been probably the best 41 minutes I have had in weeks. And here is now Papercut's force pushing, and his siege tanks faltering as they pull back and do not siege up at the right location. Here is Zapper just bringing utter devastation to the front lines. These siege tanks will be able to siege up, but they will quickly fall. Papercut's combined forces no match for these 3-3 Thors, and Zapper finishing them off. One of his Thors falls. He only has 3 left, 2 left now, but these Thors now bringing devastation to the opposing base. He just may have a shot at this, ladies and gentlemen. Somehow Zapper maintaining an economy. 2 more bases built since I last spoke, and he just has a ton of vital workers, but I think that's the least of his worries at this point. Now siege tanks devastating his Thor forces, and if his last Thor finally will fall, but now this another healthy combined push from Zapper. So a combined Hellion Thor push. These Hellions smartly used, no blue flame, but they are 3 weapons, and they are able to just absorb all of the fire, firing in a pentagonal format that last time. And now the Thors will arrive, but these siege tanks have been diverted as more space is allocated for them to move, for the Thors to move in, and they will quickly make work of Khoa's, or I believe it was Khoa's or Papercut's forces, and all of these buildings lifting off, and Zapper may just have a shot at this. He has more Thors piling out of his base. His opponent's economies at this point at a standstill. 564 for Khoa, who kept up with him for the longest of time, and Papercut has left the game. It is now 1v1. Khoa GG's exceptional game. Khoa has left the game, and Zapper wins single-handedly. He survived for 11 minutes on his own, deserted by his partner Zion, and still able to come out on top. Miraculously, his opponents, it was so close, so back and forth, that as soon as Zion left the game and GG'd, I imagined that Zapper had no hope left, and I was almost ready to call the game in Papercut and Khoa's favor. Absolutely stunning of a matchup. I believe if you should just rewatch this video, as it is not even my casting. The replay in itself is a work of art. I am at a loss of words to express regarding the incredibility of this replay. I'm not even sure if that's a word. And so with this, I do conclude the advice I have to give to I will give very general advice. I do not want to stretch on this video, as it's long enough as is. The game has been 44 minutes and 1 second, so that is long enough in itself. And so my advice simply for Khoa and Papercut, they should have just taken more advantage of the map and expanded to here, to here, to here, to here, and to here even, when they had the chance. Right after Zion left, Zapper was very vulnerable. He was producing off of 3 factories. He was producing many Thors, and still is, posthumously. And Khoa and Papercut should have upgraded, absolutely. Zion's 3-3 upgrades gave him a massive advantage, and Zion should not have left. Absolutely, he still had a chance. Never leave until your partner says, absolutely, we are done, I'm leaving as well. So Zapper, I just have nothing but good to say about his gameplay. Small errors such as Terran armor plating and just small mistakes that of course are just part of a general skill set. The same can be said for Zion. He left way too early and ditched his partner a little too early, as the game was not over. And so, as they say, it's not over until it's over. Till the buzzer goes, till the GGs are up. And so with that, I will sign off. I'll see you next time. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this video as I did. And I will see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. This is Austin, almost breathless, signing off.